Well, good day, good day, and it's great to see you here on the channel, Northworthy, Sagas and Stories. And I'm your host for the day, Bragi, son of Magnar, and as you know, I'm a poet and a skald, and also a teller of stories. And I'm here with my very good friend,
Gail Torson, warrior, trader, and sometimes storyteller.
Now, good day, good dag. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we did a trailer review for the rubbish Robin Hood trailer. So, if you've not seen that, please check it out in this card. And today we're going to review the trailer from last year of King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword. Now, you've just seen this legend, so what do you think of it overall, the trailer?
It's a very complex view, really, because if you're looking at it from a historical content, you've got explosions, you've got kit that's way out of.
Oh yes.
However, it does tell the stories. It's educated another generation.
Yeah, so for that side of things, it's very good, isn't it?
Yeah. The trouble is, when we think of King Arthur, we always think of the story Morte Arthur, and they're all dressed in plate armour. As far as we can ascertain, and it's only supposition of that, is that Arthur existed late Roman period,
Yeah.
sort of just bordering on the invasion of the Saxons.
I read a very interesting article last year speculating who King Arthur was, and it was very interesting. If I could find it again, I will perhaps link it in the comments section. And I've got a list here, we'll just go through the run through of the trailer, and I'll put the trailer in the links this time. I didn't do it in the last one, which I still got to go back and do in the last one we reviewed. We won't put it in the video just because of copyright issues we may get in the future. So the first thing I saw in the trailer was the buildings looked more medieval than Romano-British, of which King Arthur would be set in.
Yeah, again, if we take Arthur as existed in the Romano-British Saxon era, they would more than likely be, I would say, roundhouses for the British.
Yes.
Rutland or affairs.
Thatched roofs.
Thatched roofs or wooden shingles.
Yeah,
But mostly thatched.
But these buildings had wooden shingles, and I thought that was quite cool. Although the town looked far too medieval, mid to late medieval to me. So
Excalibur was about 1415 in style. The sword.
yeah, well, we'll talk about the sword as we go along. I've got a list here. Now, the next thing I saw in the trailer was some more explosions, like WTF, gunpowder. I mean, like you said in the last trailer, they could have used Greek fire, couldn't they?
Yeah, but
Even that's a stretch.
yeah, it's a stretch.
So, yet again, more crazy explosions, and it's in the wrong era. Please, Hollywood, don't do this. It makes your movie look terrible. You know, if you want some advice from some people who know what they're talking about, then please hire me and Eggle, and we'll gladly advise you on any of your massive movie budgets. You can pay us £1 million each, couldn't they?
So it's going to cost you.
Yeah. Then the guy had a nice gambeson on. I like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was back to front. You know, but you can time up the front.
Yeah.
But the gambeson was very clean, and it did look worn. It looked brand new to me.
It probably was from props.
Oh yeah. And some of the clothing looked okay-ish, but some of it looked terrible, you know, this modern-looking clothing.
Got Eastern helmets as well.
Yes, well, I'll talk about helmets later on in this list. And then the next scene you go to in the trailer is when they jump off this massive cliff. Now, it was a good drop, you know, 300-400 metres, and there's no way you would survive that jump.
Without hitting a concrete wall, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then also you're wearing kit, so the kit will get wet, especially a gambeson, because the gambeson, if you don't know, is packed with very tightly packed wool. So your wool will just soak up water and drown you. So unless you can get it off quickly. I don't know how fast he can get his kit off.
Gambesons are not easy to get off.
So
to get on.
I thought that was quite terrible, the clothing. They could have put more effort into that.
What's with the short back and sides?
Yeah, the haircuts again. I didn't actually talk right about the haircuts, but yet again, modern-looking haircuts. You know, they would have been more scruffy like me. I need an haircut.
I don't.
No. Should Bragi grow his hair long? That's another question. So you got the gambeson. I thought that was looking okay, but too clean and not tatty enough, not worn. So, and then when you see the land in the water, you see these arrows going in the water, which are meant in like 10-15 metres, which would not happen.
No.
they'll go in a metre or no more than that, and then float on the top. So probably, I would have thought. So that was wrong, I thought. And then they had the armour. The armour looks ridiculous. Did you see the armour?
It's a bit platy.
Yeah, it's a bit different period styles. I like mixture, and they certainly didn't have plate armour back in those days like that. I mean, it's medieval sets of armour very clearly, but this littered helmets. Like,
Any armour would have more likely have been ex-army,
Yeah.
Roman army, Corbridge style, breastplate.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Roman helmets.
yeah, there would have been lots around back in the day after the Romans left Britain.
Some mail,
Yeah, some mail would have been around.
but you might have got sort of leather with rings sewn on it.
But they always make modern armour out of leather, and I think that's just terrible. But at least this leather wasn't fatally tooled, like some of these videos and films you see.
It's cheap, that's why.
So, and then they had lacings on the gambeson, and they had metal eye holes, which I would not have done. I mean, that's a very modern thing, really. Well, as in probably 19th century to 20th century. It wouldn't have done that, so that was wrong. And then you go to the scene where you see these giant elephants, like WTF, what the hell are these elephants? They're so big, they look like they belong in Lord of the Rings, don't they?
Oh, that's all the London Zoo.
Oh, London Zoo, yes.
Again, I mean, elephants at that time wouldn't have been heard of really in Europe.
No.
For instance, how do you get them over?
I mean, would you ever heard of Hannibal and his elephant? You know, would that story have travelled far enough over time? I don't know.
Could have done, but there'd have been more figures of legend than facts.
But there's no way they would have had elephants in Britain at the time, and I think that's just totally and utterly ridiculous. Why couldn't they just use a horse like normal people? Anyway, so that's that about the elephants. And then the next scene, you go to this weird-eyed lady, and she had like these weird eyes. So, you know, yet again, it's more fantasy than fiction. So, I don't know what they're doing there. And then you see this next scene of a courtyard, and they had these Romanesque pillars. Well, weren't too bad, because there would have been Romanesque architecture left around.
They avoided it like the plague.
But they did avoid it. They thought it was it's haunted, didn't they?
It was unsafe.
Yeah.
There is in fact a dig where they were digging a villa and they found a skeleton from the Saxon period where a wall had collapsed
Really?
on top.
Ah, that's fascinating. And the people look very clean again.
Yeah.
Clean people and clean kit. Now, if you're living back in the Dark Ages, you wouldn't be that clean. You know,
Yeah, well, hygiene was something they didn't understand.
No, it's not like today where we have showers and we can have a wash every day. You know, you might have only had a wash once a week back in those days, or
About that time, the church outlawed washing as sinful. You know, when you've had a hard day at work,
yeah,
come in the shower or the bath, and that split second, that was considered sinful, and they would fine you for it.
yeah. So yeah. So please, Hollywood, when you make these movies, please make people look dirty, because it's just wrong that they're clean.
Yeah.
It's not. It's historical wrong. You know, historically, its accuracy is wrong, and I like to see that change in future movies. And then the next scene you see is some guys in a bare chest doing some like a, you know, Asian martial arts. I mean, what's all that about? Please tell me. I mean,
There was, in the time of Alfred,
yes,
supposedly an unarmed, form of unarmed combat.
yeah, I've heard about that.
But what it was and what form it is,
A
we
European
have no-
form of martial arts. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
we don't know.
We don't know.
There's stick fighting.
Yeah.
French do.
So, you know, they could have done a bit more research and made the martial arts more European rather than centralised to Asia. So I thought that was wrong. And then you go to see this massive castle scene. It looks like something from Lord of the Rings. You know, far too much stone. I mean, castles weren't that big compared to modern buildings, were they, really?
Not until the Roman period, Norman period.
Yeah, the Norman period, they took off slightly bigger. But this isn't set in the Norman period. It's 600 years before this.
Yeah.
So, yet again, oversized castles.
It's fantasy taking over from the
I then noticed this actor who had an Australian accent. G'day, mate. Flaming galah. So, yeah, I mean, why would you cast an Australian actor? Because, you know, can you not make him speak more English accent? So I thought that was a little bit daft. I mean, no disrespect to the actor doing it. I don't know his name.
Or Australia.
So there you go. And then the next scene you see the hero, and he has a pattern welded sword. Although the pattern welding is very nice, the first thing I noticed, as somebody who understands the process of making, it has no steel cutting edge. It is just purely pattern weld. And then I'm sure you can talk about the handle and the sword itself.
Well, like I said earlier, it was more sort of War of the Roses, 1450, 1485 sort of thing. The hilts, if anything, it could either be Roman type sword, a Sparta, or it would be Celtic standing on sword.
Yeah, I mean that sword looked like 14th century to me.
Way in advance.
So
nice blade.
Was a nice blade, but it would have been impractical as a blade because it literally had no steel cutting edge.
Yeah.
And if you're going to spend hundreds of hours pattern welding the sword, you definitely want a nice pattern welded edge, you know, a steel edge, don't you, and unpattern welded.
Yeah.
So, oh, look, Bob in there, look.
Oh, yeah.
Thor's looking at us.
Yeah.
And so you go from the sword, and then the mail, you see the chainmail, as you may call it in modern times, looks like aluminium to me.
Yes.
I may be wrong, it could have been steel.
I think we can get away with that one.
Yeah, we'll just about get away with it, but you know, at least I didn't use some kind of wool effect mail, so fair play to that.
Yeah.
Then there was a mixture of helmets. I'm sure Edgar will talk a bit more about this.
Well, again, I mean, helmets, whenever we think of armies from that period, everyone's got a sword, everyone's got a helmet, everyone's got armour. It wasn't the case. These were just ordinary people. The leaders would have armour and helmets, but from what I could see, it was again War of the Roses time, mixed with a little bit of samurai stuff.
Yes.
But Freddie wouldn't have folks. They would have gone better, in my view, of having just circular helmets with a nasal bit. At least that way it would have been cheaper and more accurate. But yeah, I understand we can pick the flies out of these things.
Oh yes, of course. I mean, I've not actually seen the movie, and have you seen the movie? I don't think you have.
No, I haven't.
And I probably won't watch the movie.
Well, let's put it this way, you've got to ask yourself, who is it made for? It should be sort of, I would say, 10 to 18-year-olds. People who've got a heritage of wargaming and very little knowledge of actual history, which I think they could have done a bit more effort in research for it. I'm sure it's a rattling story. King Arthur, you can't go wrong.
No, brilliant story.
As a matter of entertainment, and I understand that budgets being what they are in films, but if you go on telly and have a look at it and see what's
Oh yeah,
what.
I'll watch it on telly. I wouldn't pay to go and see it. I think they'll have to pay me.
Again, it's like the Robin Hood film. It'll be on, say, Christmas. They'll have a sort of fantasy weekend or whatever.
BBC One, Christmas Day.
It'll be on there next to James Bond.
Yeah.
And then you'll sit in next in a bargain basket on the M1.
I think I prefer to watch James Bond personally. Anyway, so the next scene you see this dude and he's got like this fire skull helmet and all flames coming out of it. I mean, yet again, you know, it's realms of fantasy here, as Corporal Jones would say from Dad's Army. And well, Captain Manning actually.
It's going to be roasted.
Yeah. So what's all that about? You know, it's too fantasy. You know, it just didn't look right. And then you go to more scenes of explosions yet again. I mean, these are just the highlights and the best bits from the films, no doubt. But yet again, please don't put these ridiculous explosions in a film which shouldn't have explosions in. Then you go to another scene where you see all this more black fantasy over the top armour yet again, and some of it looks quite nicely made, but some of it looks like made out of leather, and how you do to test that to a degree. And then you go to a scene in a wood where you see this naked tree lady. Alright, what's all that about? Is she an ent? I don't think so.
I missed that bit.
No, well, I didn't show you that bit. We watched the other trailer. No.
Being censored.
Yeah. So.
Well, to me, skin is always in.
Yeah,
but
she looked like a tree, so I don't know what that was about. And then you go to the scene of the hero when he's carrying his sword on the back, and I really do detest this because it's pretty much impossible to get a good sword length out your back.
Well, also,
it cannot be done.
If you do that again,
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get stabbed in your chest by getting your sword out, and the movie would have been 5 minutes long. So, I don't think you're ever going to see a Viking ever wear a sword on his back, are you?
nobody would in their right mind.
No, you'll be taking a mickey out of big time and be told to go home.
It's just Hollywood.
And you got another castle scene that looks okay, but yet again, a lot of stone. The castle was big.
Yeah.
Would there be to manufacture that amount of stone in the day? I don't know.
But what would have looked good if they'd reused a Roman fort
Yes,
and patched that? That would have been more.
but there's plenty of authentic places to film in Europe and in England, so there's no excuse really. Yet again, you see a guy in leather armour, but I detest that. I mean, if they're wearing like a leather jerkin, fine. But it wasn't. It was just over the top armour made out of leather. And then you go to the hero wearing a sheepskin jacket. I mean, it looks like a dude out of the 60s, man. Yeah, peace. So I thought that was quite wrong and just not right. And then you have these fantasy style shield these dudes in black armour are wearing. The shields are okay-ish, but they could have made a better job of that. And then they've got the overuse of magic in the movie. I mean, don't think we have to talk about that. I mean,
Well, the whole concept of Arthur is rather difficult. In archaeological terms, you've got those who believe Arthur existed, and you've got those who don't. We have found one or two things that may lend themselves to suggest that Arthur was here, the most notable being the two coffins found in Glastonbury, one of a man with a head wound and the other of an aging lady, Arthur Guinevere.
Yeah.
But then again, we don't know for certain. And I don't think I really want to know for certain, because
no,
Arthur is a brilliant story.
it is a brilliant story.
I first read about it in the World Things, the Mabinogion, Welsh fairy
Yes.
tales. And it's been suggested that maybe the Normans wanted an English hero and resurrected Arthur. Also, we've got the puzzling thing of Merlin.
Yes.
Well, Merlin actually existed 3,000 years before we're talking about Arthur.
Yes, I've heard that.
There is, and he lived in Scotland and had a pet pig, from what I can gather.
Oh,
But he was in a battle and his side.
was the pig called Pepper?
No idea. But then what I'm getting at is
I didn't
they
think that.
brought two characters thousands of years apart. And it is part of the British tradition, I guess. And I know there's a guy, if you go to Glastonbury, who calls himself Pendragon, and will make you a knight of the round table.
Oh,
I'd love to go to Glastonbury. I haven't been ever.
well, we'll go one day when we do a English tour of sites in the future. Although at the moment it might be quite hard for me to travel too far. But we're more in the future. I mean, we plan to be around a long time, don't we, on this channel?
Well, I certainly do.
No, I do as well. Yeah. So many years to come. We'll be long in the beard,
Don't be fooled by my piece of
looking
clown
old.
box.
So that's that on the use of magic, and a little bit on King Arthur. And then you have the magical swords where they get hitting each other and lighting up. What was all that about? You might see sparks from the swords.
Yeah, I mean, what it is you know and I know when we've been fighting in Twilight, sparks do
Yeah, oh
fly.
yeah.
But there's sparks and sparks.
If you do this and do that, you don't get a spark, do you?
No.
Or a big flame of light. So, yet again, Hollywood, you let us down there. I thought that was just ridiculous.
I mean, you've got any more bits?
Yeah, we do have a bit more. There's some more about explosion. We've covered that already, but yet again, at the end of the trailer, there's more explosion. Please, no more of that. And then you got this elephant charging through, look like a stone gate. Who would win, a stone gate or an elephant?
Well, the elephant would have a very flat face
Yes.
by the end of it. I doubt it.
So,
I think the elephant's got more sense in charge.
I don't think you just finish off with, the clothes are looking too clean again at the end and not worn. So that's the base of the list of the trailer. And overall, I thought it was a poor and terrible movie. Could it be the worst King Arthur movie ever?
Who knows?
We'll
But
put it in the title for effect.
to be honest with you, I mean, I'll play devil's advocate. It's a film. At
Yes.
the end of the day, it's a film for entertainment.
We couldn't take it too serious.
And yes, we could no doubt go through it over and over,
Oh,
picking
yes.
faults here, there, and everywhere. But it's made for entertainment. Most people don't know any different,
Yeah.
and it could be argued that you're perpetuating ignorance. But at the same time, somebody will look at that and think, "I really like that film." Find a book on Arthur, and then get into it and into
Yes.
history.
For bringing King Arthur to, you know, to the acknowledgement of the people, that's great. I mean, it's one of those stories like Robin Hood we've all heard, and we've all grown up with. You know, we've all seen King Arthur movies. What's your most favourite King Arthur movie you've seen?
It's the one with Keira Knightley in.
Oh, which one's that?
It's called Arthur, believe it or
Oh
not.
yes, that's a good one. That we're going to review that trailer as
Ray
well.
Winston. It's set.
Oh yeah, Ray Winston.
Yeah, it's set at the time where you've got the actual Romano-British fighting, where they call
Yeah.
the Wends,
That's a much better movie in my mind.
and you've got the Saxons coming in and invading. But yeah,
We are going to review that trailer for that movie. I know the trailers are a little bit old now, and that one came out in 2004, so that's a very old trailer. But you know, we think it's a great idea to review these trailers.
well, I mean, having said that, we could forgive them the medieval trebuchet that the Britons are using, but
Yeah,
it's when you see the women fighting, that's something people overlook.
so overall they should have called this movie, in my mind, King Arthur, a fantasy movie. And it's also been a great job for the cast of Game of Thrones. There's quite a few of them in this movie, so they get involved. And it's directed by Guy Ritchie, and I think he really should stick to the gangster movie, you know, like Snatch and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Those movies are brilliant. I really enjoyed those films. So please, Guy Ritchie, if you do watch this video, give it a like and make some more gangster movies for us, because they're brilliant. So overall, that's the end of this review of the trailer. So yeah,
About it then.
if you'd like to see some more reviews of trailers, please let us know. We do have a playlist with one review so far, so please check out that playlist. And I'll also link at the beginning of this video the other trailer review we've done. And we will be doing more of this content in the future. So it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him.
Wazza, or good
Wazza.
health. And don't forget, leave us your comments, share the video. Thank you.